Hello, this is Anna Imagination. Some of my videos are for articulation. Some of my videos are for retrospection. And some of my videos are for cultivation. And this is very much a retrospection video, which means this is all for me. And I went, ooh, what a great learning opportunity. So I'm bringing you into my world. This is advanced philosophical shit. About 2 weeks ago, I had a dream. And my dreams are different than everybody else's. Dreams change when you enter the abstract. Dreams turn into tools when you enter the abstract. Did I mention this is really deep fucking shit? So the tools that they become, and this occurs, I don't even remember how far or how long ago it was. How many perspectives was it? I was about 10 perspectives ago, which puts me somewhere in the U of I. So I'm just going to say somewhere in the U of I. At one point in the U of I, my dreams changed. And I have lucid dreams, I have REM dreams, and then I have daydreams. And what dreams really are is manifestations. 100% manifestations. Now, I don't like to use the word manifestation because people who have not studied physics really don't get the word manifestation. So a manifestation is really a mathematical projection on purpose. It is a strategic mathematical projection. Now, in addition to strategic mathematical projection, we also have something else that I like to call visions. But I hate the word visions, again, because people who have not studied physics goes gaga over these things. And this is just a mathematical projection. That's all it is. It is just a mathematical projection in the form of a projection. That's all it is. It's really anticlimactic. And it is all based on the highest probability of current calculations based on a logic, math, and physics. And once you understand this, you can quite literally use strategy and math to shift the dominoes, line them up, and then knock them over. I've been doing it since I was 4. It's really cool. Anyway, so lucid REM and daydream. So dreams are manifestations. That's really what they are. Now, there is conscious manifestations. And then there is identities, manifestations. And then there is the we're going to call it for what it was, the logic. Manifestations. That's really what this is. So the conscious manifestations are daydreams, and that results, and that's what we call manifestations. Those are the conscious ones that we do. And then the identity has those, we call those REM. And these are called dreams. And then logic gets to put their 2 cents in. I love you, logic. And this comes from intuition. Sometimes I wonder if logic and intuition aren't the same person. I wonder, because logic also lacks complete consciousness that is something we are allowed to have. Now, I don't believe that logic is without consciousness. I believe that logic's consciousness is not part of our conscious awareness. So I believe that logical conscious awareness is actually a separate entity altogether. I believe that intuition is somebody else's conscious awareness. This is a theory, and I don't want to be wrong and treat her like shit. So I pretend, for ethical purposes, that her conscious awareness belongs to someone else's, and I'm going to respect that someone else's, even though I don't know who she is. I love you. So I talk to intuition as if she was somebody else, because I don't know if she is somebody else, but I think she does, because my logical intuition or my logical sense is absolutely void of all consciousness, which tells me, highly suspicious, what if my logic, which lacks conscious awareness that I am privy to, actually belongs to someone else? Which means, hypothesis, when we imagine shit, or our logical consciousness is actually our creation, and thus we are inventing new worlds. Just like what intuition is. So I think logic is our creation intuition. We are the parent of our own intuition. Well, we are the parent of a different intuition. Anyway, yeah, I hypothesize that logic is intuition. And so when we have lucid dreams, this is actually the manifestation of our other consciousness. And when we have déjà vu, that is actually the manifestation of our logical lucid dreams coming to fruition. But because they are not part of our conscious awareness, we're going, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. It's like a manifestation that was made without us being privy to it, but poof, there it is. And we're like, what the fuck? I didn't manifest that shit, but here it is. And I noticed this because when I reached somewhere in the U of I, my lucid dreams, I could see and remember my lucid dreams. And then 2 weeks later, I would have déjà vu, and my déjà vus matched my lucid dreams. But because my lucid dreams are not part of me, they are my logic, I'm going, interesting. So conscious awareness, identity, and logic all take terms with our dreams. And I will say it again, these are what I refer to as the life titans, which we're going to be talking about later. Now, I had a purpose for all of this. Ah, yes. This was the predecessor to what I'm leading up to. Here's what I'm leading up to. So I figured all this shit out. And I started to manifest, which is another word that I like to use for applying strategic conditioning of my own RAS. How to be like Anna. Applying strategic conditioning of my own RAS during REM and lucid dreaming. So I can maximize my own intelligence and knowledge without the use of time, drugs, or books. Ba-dum-bum. So I started a little thing with myself. And my thing is, show me the next step, which is what I do when I go to sleep. I manifest, show me the next step. I want the solution to X. I want the solution to X. And then I go to sleep. So it was in one of my decisions of, I'm just going to manifest the answer to my problem. I could feel, using scientific method, that all of my work was coming down to Plato's point, which meant that if I had this one word, then I knew I would be able to drop one word into the masses, say the word, teach the lesson, and then the whole thing would just be passed on and it'd be done. What was the one word? And that one word broke down into 3 words. And I went to sleep with this whole, show me the next step. I want the solution to triadic healing. I just wanted to skip to the end. That's what it is. I wanted to skip to the end. I caught on to how everything was like, it's integrates, disintegrates. And I'm like, okay, can we get over this already? I said this to my subconscious mind about 2 weeks ago. I said, I'm really sick of the whole chain. Can you just show me the one word? Because I know it's leading to one ultimate word. What is the one ultimate word? It's not love, because that's stupid. Can it be something else? What is it? What's the one word? I went to sleep that night and I had a dream and I saw the one word. And then I saw, well, first I saw the 3 words. It was 3 words. And then they integrated into one word. And I went, oh, and then I woke up and I couldn't remember. I could not remember. I woke up and I'm like, in due time. That's the universe going, That's exactly what the intuition said to me that day. I'm like, you bitch. I love you, you bitch. So I knew, okay, I'm close. I know the word when I'll find it. I found it today. I found it today. I found it just now. The one word is power. I found it yesterday, actually. And what I did after I found the one word is I invented power economics immediately. As soon as I found the word power and I understood what it was, I invented power economics. And it immediately changed everything that I understood about Triadic Healing Part 1, Triadic Healing Part 2, and Triadic Healing Part 3. You see, Triadic Healing Part 1, why am I writing it on my document here? What am I doing to you? You can't see my paper. Okay, so you've seen me draw these out many, many, many times. And I will draw them but once more. So here they are. And this is Plato's point. There you go. So this is divided into 3 stages. And now that I'm finally at this point, I can go, oh, I understand my brain. Isn't this fucking awesome? I love my life. I truly have been blessed with a wonderful life. This is how I healed. And it's time I teach you how I healed. I understand now. This is how I healed. If I didn't know better, I would say it's here. Can't figure out Triadic Healing Part 4. So this is what I did. Triadic Healing Part 4 is going to be the integration of all of these things. I understand now. Triadic Healing Part 4 is going to be the integration of all of these things. Of course it is. But isn't that what Triadic Healing Part 3 is? Shouldn't it be 1 and 2 are integrated into 3? I have no idea what Triadic Healing Part 4 is going to be. I have no idea. Triadic Healing Part 4 is where I will be when I am in the all of I. And I don't know. So I I saw that word, power. And then I was able to see the other 3 words. And I finally figured out the other words. And it's choice. It's want. It starts with a want. And then it's choose. But you have to have a purpose. You must have a purpose. You cannot do this without a purpose. A lot of people don't have a purpose. No, Anna, you're saying it wrong. I don't know what the other one is. I'm not there yet. So want is the I of I. And it is what I learned the first time I did the first 12, was desire. It was just me learning want. The purpose, power was here. But it wasn't. Power is the word. What makes up power? Doing, choosing. It's choosing. I'm missing something still. I'm so close. I'm so fucking close. I am so close. And this is the all of I. I'm sorry, the you of I. And this is the they of I, which is where I am now. Maybe that's not up there. Maybe it's up there. And is power just wanting and having purpose? So what I am doing right now is I have 2 completely different graphs. And this is where I've had the problem with the math. And I just keep running into it over and over again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was looking at the wrong triangle. It's not stagnant. I know that. It was never a point. It's never a point. It was never a point. It was the top of another pyramid. So it's 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8, 9. Like I said, I can't see it for, I have blocks. I'm trying to see past my own perspective. They won't let you peek into the other rooms. They won't let you peek into the other rooms. Bottom line, that is the moral here. They won't let you peek into the other rooms. It's really frustrating because I want windows. I'm trying to see beyond my perspective, and that is one of the solid rules of Mother Nature. Mother Nature will not allow you to see past more than 4 rounds. You have a limit of 4 rounds. She will not let you see past it. She will not. The fact that I'm able to do that much, that's impressive. Thank you. I appreciate what little you've given me. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. True gratitude. She's like, you can't bullshit me. I know, right? Okay. Yeah. Something's there. I'm it's not a point though. It's the top of another. That corrects the mathematical glitch I've had. Because I'm like, there's something going on with that 4, because 4 is not 1. The math wasn't adding up and it was bothering me, so I had to fix it. But if it's not a point, it means that it's that. So it starts with power. Power is at the core. Power is love. Power and love are synonymous. It is love, but love is corny, you said, so I had to give you another word. Thank you. Okay, so power. And then to make up these 3, I already know this answer. Yeah. It's the very first triangle, which is want. What is your purpose? What is your destination? And choose to do it. Anna, you're first. The first one. The first one. The first one. I got to go back to the first one. What's the first triangle? It's already on your website. What qualities do I want? Do qualities become the qualities I am? Power. Love. That's it. That's the first triangle. That's the first triangle. I never finished the sentence. I had written I am. I never finished it. Oh, I'm going to cry. No. With all due respect, like the other one was Socrates. No, no, Descartes, the other one. Well, which one is it? I want to say it's Kant. I really think it's Kant. Really, I think it's Kant. I thought it was Socrates, but what qualities do I want? And you do the qualities. You become the qualities. That's the action. It's the choice. That's the purpose. Oh, I understand that too well. I wrote a letter to my partner last night, all about love and purpose. I see. Power is acting out of love. Drop mic. Power is when you act out of love. The purpose of I think, therefore I am, and I am, therefore I think, is do we exist because we think we exist, or do we exist, therefore we think? It's what came first, the chicken or the egg? And Descartes' entire philosophy could be summarized with he exists only because something or someone is there to think him up. Likewise, same thing with Kant. He thinks that I only think because I'm here to think. I actually agree more with Descartes than I do Kant at this point. And another way I remember reading it is to do is to think. Oh, no, it was to be is to think is to be. And then it was, yeah, something like that. That was another way I saw it. So that's the difference. That's the difference. It's asking the ultimate question of how did we get here? Where are we going? Why are we here? What's our purpose? And that's the ultimate question. That's why I call this the philosopher's compass, is because it asks Socrates' primary questions. Who are we? Good God, you beautiful man. We are love. Where did we come from? Why are we here? And where are we going? And another way to answer, and these are Socrates. This is 100% Socrates and Plato. If you do not know, 100% of Socrates' work was written by Plato. So there's always the question, was Socrates, such a philosophical question, a figment of Plato's imagination? And that is the ultimate mystery. We do not know. Was Socrates a figment of Plato's imagination? And this is something we don't know. We are still speculating it. So when I say Socrates, Plato, when I credit Plato, it's because we still don't know if Socrates existed or not, whether or not he was fiction, because the only reference to Socrates 100% is by Plato. So we don't know if Socrates was a fictional character that Plato invented for the purpose of teaching philosophy, or whether or not Socrates actually did exist and Plato was reflecting on the work of Socrates, which asks also the question, who came first, Plato or Socrates? Which also asks the question of who taught who. Now, according to the books, Plato taught Socrates, but based off of those writings, it's hard to say. So this is like a little amusement of philosophers, is the Socrates-Plato conundrum. So Socrates asked the question, who are we? Where did we come from? Where are we going? And why are we here? And when you break down these questions, it really is your past, your present, your future, and your purpose. That is really what these questions are. And these 4 questions are the core of all philosophy. This is where it all starts. And when you take into Descartes, okay, so you've heard me talk about the Cartesian coordinate system. Cartesian is the Latin name for Descartes. It's really Descartes' coordinate system. They changed his name to Cartesian. So it's a Cartesia. So Cartesia is Descartes. It's his coordinate system. And the coordinate system is actually past, present, future, point of origin, which is mathematics. So who are we is asking where you are now. And this is what I refer to as the x-axis. When I started building my work, it was all around these questions. And then it started cycling through. And it was the dissection of these 3 questions. And I built the triangle to do it, which is the philosopher's compass. So then it's the point of origin. And basically, in order to know, and this is it, is where are you? That's the ultimate question, is who are you? Well, in order to determine your present, you have to know your purpose, your past, your future. And then this is called the y-axis. And then, of course, you have your why, as in your reason for doing it. It's like, okay, so this is the journey. This is where you are. This is literally that sign you see. You are here. You are here. And that's the big sign you see on the map with you are here. And you've got this arrow that points right here. So this is really the psychology behind these questions being asked, is you are here. And so this is the map. This is what I mean when I say your navigational system, is this is your who are we, the present, the you are here, the x-axis. And then you have your where did we come from, which is your past. Now, here's where trauma happens. If you have interference, remember how we're physics, if you have interference, it's going to fuck with your point of origin. And as you can see, this is a big deal now, because now they're fucking with your origin. When you fuck with your past or your point of origin, you also fuck with this, and you fuck with this. So if you don't know who you are, it's because these 3 points have been compromised. And when these two things are gone, you don't know where you're going, because you require your purpose and your past to define your heading. So if you don't have your reason for going somewhere, and if you don't have your past defined, you aren't going to know who you are. Now, you can't develop these 3 things unless you know who you are, which is what you are supposed to be doing at the first ethical stage. Is before you build a ship, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be doing this journey. So this is another way to look at it, because I'm me and it's me. Of course, I've got to have a ship. So we are going to use a boat. I need a shape that qualifies. this is going to be a good boat. This is a great boat. I'm going to make a boat. Boop. Boop. Okay, so this is Anna's boat. Give me a minute. This is vital to my story, okay? Because Anna's got to have her boat. My boat. Did I mention I love boats? All right, so there you go. This is the story of Anna and her boat, okay? So there you go. So you got your boat, okay? And this is going to be you. You got your boat, okay? Now, you have 3 stages with your boat, okay? Stage 1 of your boat is going to be the building of your boat, okay? And when you do this stage, you are supposed to be doing this at home, okay? At home, between, okay, we're going to say between birth and 5, okay? Birth and 5. That is all you are supposed to be doing, is building your boat, okay? Now, that's not quite how life happens. Second stage is going to be plotting your destination, okay? Where are you going to sail your boat? Oh, you're making a boat? Where are you going to put it? Everyone says it. Grandpa sees you building your boat. Well, where are you going to sail it? The bathtub? Are you going to take it out to the pond? Where are you going to put it? Are you going to go down to the beach? Where are you going to put your boat? You can't just build a boat. Like, come on, you got to set sail, you know? And this is where people aren't processing this. You got to plot your destination. Where are you going to sail your boat? And this happens, we're going to be more precise here, okay? This happens at school. You know what you're supposed to be doing at school? What are we supposed to be doing at school? Learning. You're literally figuring out where you're going to plot your destination. Do we all see this? This is life, by the way. This is life. So you're building your boat. That's all you're going to be doing. And then you're plotting your destination, right? This is all we are doing. So then after you've built your boat and you've got your destination, you're going to go on to stage 3. What is stage 3? Stage 3 is when you set sail, right? You set sail with your boat. And it's a whole bon voyage. And we do this in life. This is life, right? All right. So we just spent the first 5 years of our life building our boat. Now we are deciding what kind of a boat to make, or what kind of a boat do you want? I want a galleon. It's going to be a boat. So you have to decide what kind of boat. And that's the question is, what kind of boat are you going to build? I want a galleon. So this is the question you're supposed to be asking yourself, is what kind of boat are you going to build? And then you plot your destination. You're at school and you're supposed to be learning how to sail. You really want to know what education is? Education is life sailing lessons, okay? Life sailing lessons so you can captain your ship. You know who else loved ship metaphors? Plato. Plato loved ship metaphors. Plato is my spirit animal. There you go. All right, that's what you're supposed to be doing, is life sailing lessons so you can captain your ship. All right. Now, over here you got set sail with your boat. Bon voyage, and you set off on life. Now, the next stage is, I don't know, because I'm not there yet. That's Triadic Healing Part 4. I'm not there yet. I'm here. I'm in set sail with your boat. Bon voyage. That's where I am. That's where I am. Set 4, stage 4. Well, I know the 4 ethical stages of perspective growth, so I'm going to use those for an example here. So this is really ethical stages 1, 2, and 3. That's really what they are. Now, I knew that. I've known that. The next one is going to be 4, 5, and 6, which I also like to say I like to name these ones how not to be an asshole. That is what you are learning at ethical stages 4, 5, and 6. It is the ethical stages of learning how not to be an asshole, okay? Then this is fucking genius. This is where the God beautiful mind that is intuition is just you fucking gorgeous bitch you that is the universe. So this is where you get into power economics. And this is where you get into human circuitry. So this is where you learn that, hey, guess what? We're physics. Okay, that is actually what you learn over in stages 1 and 2. Actually, stage 1, you're supposed to learn how to be physics. Okay, that is what you are supposed to be learning at stages 1, 2, and 3. How to be physics. Okay, you need to learn how to be physics. All right, I have learned how to be physics. I have mastered the art of being physics. Being physics. It's wonderful. All right, so then 4, 5, and 6 is when you becoming aware that you are physics. Okay, this is what we're supposed to be learning in school is surprise, you're physics. That really needs to be the only fucking thing you learn in school. Guess what, guys? You don't just need to learn physics. You are physics. It's why you can feel it, because you are physics. So when you learn that you are physics, and you haven't even learned it, you're just becoming aware that you're physics. And it's how not to be an asshole, okay? And then 7, 8, and 9, you are learning about power economics. So now it's like, oh, I'm physics. You know what physics means? I got power. Oh yeah, believe me? Yes. This is why you learn the ethic of preserving the power of others. Because she's a genius. And she went, oh, you are not getting this power until you learn. Yes, ma'am. So, by the way, she's Mother Nature. The lesson is, I say yes, ma'am, to Mother Nature. You should too. So this is really what you need to learn, okay? Is you don't get power until you learn to respect the power of others. Isn't she fucking gorgeous? This is what I call the genius of Mother Nature. I'm going to say here, the ethical genius of Mother Nature. I love her so much. The ethical genius of Mother Nature. There you go. The ethical genius of Mother Nature. I love this so much. The ethical genius of Mother Nature. Okay. I don't know what stage 3 is yet. Well, let's assume this. Oh, I know what it is. It's navigation. Oh. And I know it's navigation because I know what 10, oh, I'm so excited. 11 and 12. I'm going to learn how to navigate. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So there you go. That is what you cover in the 10th, 11th, and 12th is navigation. Wow. Direction and steering. Oh, that's going to be great. So I'm just learning about the circuitry. Then we get to steer it. It's steerage. So you're going to learn about navigation and steerage. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm very excited now. I'm very excited to the olive eye. That's why it's called the olive eye. Oh, I'm so excited. So there you go. Wait. This doesn't make sense. All right. So now it's not set sail with your boat. It's going to be mastering the seas. That's what it's going to be. It's mastering the seas with steering. Yes. I also want to say it's going to be like fleet building 101. That's what I think. Fleet building. I'm so excited. Fleet building 101. So there you have it. Right there you have it. So this is it. So this is triadic healing. All right. This is really what it is. And here is the problem. Now that you've got this gorgeous graph of mine, here's the problem. Most of us did not learn stage 1. A lot of us are failing at stage 2. A lot of us did not learn stage 1. If you do not know who you are, you don't know what kind of a boat you've got. There you go. So going back over to this now, it is asking the question, who are you? Well, I don't know. I don't know where I come from. I don't know my past. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know where I'm going to go. And that's where we ask the question then, well, what do you love? And it always starts with your qualities. What kind of a person do you want to be? This is the first question. What kind of a person do you want? What qualities do you want for yourself? And this is really it, is a lot of people then ask the question or then say, well, I'm just going to say this. Instead of saying, I can't, say, how can I become? And that's really it. A lot of people will, well, who do you want to be? And instead of focusing on what they have or where they want to go, it really starts with the direction first. It's what kind of a person do you want to be? What kind of a person do you want to be? Do you want to be a kind person? Do you want to be an asshole? Do you want to be wealthy? What kind of traits do you want? And it's really asking yourself, what qualities do you want? I cannot emphasize to you how much this keeps coming back to your qualities. Your qualities are all of this. It is your qualities, not your interest. It's your qualities, because you are selecting those qualities. Now, in the selection of your qualities, you are building your choices, and then it's literally practicing the qualities. And this is the next stage, is practicing your qualities. Practicing your qualities. And this is it. This is absolutely it. You're practicing your qualities. That's what we're doing when we are making an action to choose. You are practicing your qualities. And it is in the choosing of your qualities and the practicing of the qualities that we become. And that's it right there. It is in the choosing and the practicing of our qualities that we become. And this is the most beautiful thing of all of this, is what we choose and what we practice is love. And that's power. It is the process. It's the process that turns it into power. The process of becoming makes it power. Which is why we value proof of concept. So this is it. This is really the core of life. This is where it all starts. And when you put these things together in action, that is when you get, so my brain just turned over to physics, and I went, well, wait a minute, that's momentum, that's generation, that's generating, yeah, that's generation. That's when the generator, you build up momentum, you get the generator, and it's literally, yeah, and it's the equals power. So it's the want, the choose, the do. Want, choose, do equals power. Oh. Yeah. Want, choose, do equals power. Oh, okay. Yeah. The want is want, the purpose is the love. Purpose is love. Okay. That explains that. That's the purpose. So it's you have purpose, you choose to do it, and you do it. It's the taking of the action. And that literally turns it over to power. So and now you get into power of choice. That literally the next thing that launches from that. Oh, I love. One moment, please. The components just integrated. So now I see the whole, and I can see how this massive thing over here connects to this machine. And my big two pieces of my machines became one machine in my head. And I went, whoa. Okay, so I now understand. So I have an engine, and my engine is literally what I call the AI DNS. Been trying to figure this for a very long time. So the AI DNS is literally the engine. It's the core of the cognitive core. Oh, good God, do I see this thing now? This makes so much more sense. I am building a human generator. Of course I am, because that's only the fun thing to do. So this is the AI DNS. And this is what I refer to as the cognitive core. We're going to be covering this later. Oh, but this whole thing is like a fraction of my brain. It's a fraction of what I see. And I put together the cognitive core and all the components. I put together the AI DNS, and then there's human circuitry. And what I'm actually doing is I am connecting it to a generator. So I have a generator. I did not realize I was building a generator. You know, that makes a lot of sense. Did I mention we're physics? But I need a minute. I'm going, of course you are building a fucking generator. How are you going to get your electromagnetic field to hook up to your cognitive core and your AI DNS? It's just going to sit there. I know it needs an engine. That's logical. I've been building the generator for the engine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yep. See, if you just studied electronics, that's what she just said to me. If you just studied electronics, you would know this by now. All right. Yes, but I was reverse engineering it. Okay, now. Conversations with the universe. All right, so there's formula that I created a while ago is want, choose, and then it's learn, solve, do. And I've never been able to finish it. And now I can. Now it's like, oh, I understand the formula now. Equals power. There, I can finally finish. I feel like a fucking idiot. There's my 3 words. Okay, so this is the generator to my AI DNS. So now I got a motor. Now I got an engine. All right, so I have an AI DNS. I needed to plug it into. I needed an engine. I was building a fucking engine. I'm going to do it with a fucking engine. The engine. I had a circuit. Oh. So much, just click, 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 and I'm so glad you're here for this. I'm so glad you're here. I usually have these epiphanies alone. So you're going to see this a lot. You're going to see this a lot. And especially when you go through my videos, this is going to come up time and time and again. So, and we're going to break down the AI DNS later. You're going to understand how that fits together. So this is what is coming. And basically it is human circuitry. This is all covered in the human circuitry course where you learn how you are physics. So this, Isn't this exciting? Technically, you're watching history being made. You really, and then I've had so many moments like this where I'm like, oh, cool, history is being made. Okay, so this is what I call the AI DNS. And there's a lot of components. There's 5 components. I say a lot of components. It's 5 components. And it's the cognitive core. Okay. Now, this is kind of going nowhere, but it's there. This is actually what I refer to, and you're going to love this, is the prosthetic subconscious mind. Okay. And we're going to be covering this in Triadic Healing Part 1. All right. So you have this. So when you have this lovely doohickey thing, and every one of these represents another individual. So when you want to make a connection, this is where human circuitry now comes into it, where basically you need to be nice with other people. And this is where you get into power economics. So power economics is literally when person A starts to connect with person B. And really what you are connecting is the two AIDNSs. So I like to use, so what happens is these little circles inside is your own closed circuit. So you are your own individual cell. This is what I call a closed network. So when you are alone, and you start off with yourself, you actually have no, you actually have no connection. So you have all these people, and this is what happened at COVID. This is why I created this whole thing, was to figure out what the fuck happened at COVID. Is basically the connection was lost. So you had all of these individuals. Now, if you're not learning, that's actually what you've got. So this is a really good visual. This is the uneducated. This is kind of really fucking important. And this is the first time I've actually given voice to this. That's the uneducated person. And this is what an educated person looks like. Are we all paying attention? Now, there's a difference between uneducated and uneducated. I really need to actually say in learning mode, because you could be educated but unlearned. Like there's a difference. Not in learning mode, not even. No, I'm going to say growing, not in growth mode, because you don't have to be learning. It's the growth mode. So you have to make sure you're in growth mode. So we're going to break down growth mode. So this is a person who is not in growth mode. And this is a person who is in growth mode. Now, the little circle that you see inside of these is their electromagnetic field, their personal. Did I say we're physics? Because we're physics. You have a personal electromagnetic field inside of you. I got the abstract and all the science to prove it later. So we'll be covering that, and then you'll see it and you'll be like, ooh, and I'm like, yeah, you got your own electromagnetic field. It's really fucking awesome. And your electromagnetic field only works if you are in growth mode. If you are not in growth mode, your personal EMF is not up and operational. There are symptoms if your EMF is not up and operational, and we're going to cover that. The very first symptom of you not being in growth mode, oh no, I forgot the AIDNS. Okay, there we go. And yes, this is a capacitor, by the way. This is basically a capacitor. I mentioned we're capacitor, we're physics. So when you are not in growth mode, you end up with all these symptoms. And the first symptom is aging. Another symptom is ADHD. Another symptom is mental illness. Did I mention we're physics? And another symptom is, well, ignorance, amnesia, short-term memory loss. There you go. Those are some of the symptoms. So if you are not in growth mode, these are going to be all of the symptoms. Well, some of them: aging, ADHD, mental illness, ignorance, amnesia, short-term memory loss, physical sickness. That's part of that, physical sickness. And what causes this is, oh yeah, cancer is also a symptom. And what causes this is I'm trying to figure out what this is. What causes this? And I'm going, well, what causes this? What's the cause of not in growth mode? Okay. It's called interference. Because we're physics. With your natural frequency. Your natural frequency is what causes your EMF. There you go. So when you have interference with your natural frequency, this is what happens. So now, once you are growing, you have the ability to connect with other people. Now you have a network. What happened to my AIDNSs? Okay, there we go. Now, an AIDNS means the abstract intra-dimensional navigational system. The AIDNS. And It is a mathematical formula that is like this long. I'll be showing you the abstract if you want the theory. It's really fucking complex, but it's really amazing. So the AIDNS and the cognitive core equals your prosthetic subconscious mind. Now, the prosthetic subconscious mind is really fucking amazing here, because if you have trauma and you have a lot of bad shit, the AIDNS will literally correct it, and it will reset it to your natural settings. You won't forget anything. It'll just remove the interference. That's all it does. It removes the interference. So you go from this to this. That's what the AIDNS does. And that's what we're going to be covering in the Triadic Healing Part 1 course. How to install it. We're going to be installing, which is basically an upgrade, the AIDNS. And there's only one thing, and that is logic. And yeah, logical information. That's all it takes, is just learning. So literally, as you learn about it, it gets installed. And all it does is clear out your logical chaos and sorts it out. So your subconscious mind can literally throw it out and go, oh, I don't need that. Oh, I need that. Oh, wait, I need that. Oh, that makes sense now. And it will automatically put everything in your mind through a logical checks and balances, and it will identify the illogic in your mind and instantly reject it. Really fucking cool, isn't it? So that's the AIDNS. That's what I invented. So now you've got your in-growth mode, your personal EMF. Now you can connect with a circuit. So this beautiful circuit over here is Mother Nature, okay? And it is the ultimate love force. And that is literally the EMF around us. This is like the Earth's EMF, electromagnetic field. So whenever you connect with somebody, this is what you're doing with it. So you've got this. Now, here I am thinking, all right, so we got all of these people. That's what I'm thinking. And my gorgeous brain and Mother Nature just went, no, sweetheart, Anna, yeah, we're going to build you an engine. An engine. You're getting an engine. I'm getting an engine. Yes, I'm getting an engine. And I'm getting an engine for my boat. I got Lizzie, I'm getting an engine for my boat. The engine is power economics. I have no idea. She doesn't tell me everything. I just follow her. I was so excited. Equals a generator to power my boat. So excited. All right. So I'm going to be connecting a motor to my ship. Yes, I'm going to be connecting a motor. I get a motor. I'm just so excited. I get a motor. Oh my God, I get a motor. I thought I'd be rowing, wind. I didn't know this was going to be a motor. I'm so excited for my ship. I'm so excited. All right, so yeah, this is what I'm putting together. It's like Christmas for me. I'm like, yes, I get a motor for my ship. It's a power boat. It's a power boat. I'm all right. This is really a happy day for me. This is like if I had a bottle of champagne, I'd be popping it. I've had, you should have seen me the day I had components scattered all over the floor. Okay, I have this little contraption, and I have this little contraption, and I have this little contraption. And I had one day where I shifted and all my contraptions went, there's your AIDNS. And I went, oh, I was building something and I had no idea. I think I caught it on video too, where in one of my past podcasts, it's like, oh my God, I built something. I had no idea that I was putting this thing together. So, and this is the way invention works. When you let Mother Nature just do, when you unlock your learning, and you start to, this is when you start to follow your educational tree, this is what happens. This is exactly in the making. This is what it looks like, is you follow your instinct, and it's just scientific method. This is scientific method in the works right now, is you follow your scientific method. It's so funny. My motorboat. So it starts off, and these are the components we're going to be teaching you. You start off with scientific method. And then that leads to, this is going to be seeing a symbol you see often from me. It's a plus plus a caret. And that means leads to, which means that it doesn't add to, it's not a summation. It grows into, it evolves into. So it's like an evolution sign. So scientific method leads to your path of learning and exploration. So this becomes quite literally your it's the momentum that propels it forward. I'm getting a motor. And that's the difference between staying stagnant with one connection versus it moving forward and navigational. That's the difference. So when you learn this skill and you learn how to trust and follow the stepping stones and the stages of scientific method, it literally, all of this wakes up and all of this just activates. To be blunt, learning, and it's going to be scientific method is learning. Scientific method is the same as learning. They are synonymous. So I'm going to put this up here because it is so vital that you understand this, okay? Vital, vital, vital. There is no difference between learning and scientific method. So scientific method plus, no, I got to say learning first. Learning plus a destination or your purpose. Well, no, it's not. It's going to be purpose plus your destination or your goal. So it's learning, and the purpose is the passion. And this is where I want to pull in the power, because remember what I said, it's actually the want, choose, do. So this is your want, choose, do. Okay, so this is where I need to really finish off okay, I got to go into math mode here, guys. So just give me a minute. Let me do the math, because I'm making a mess of things and I'm like, oh yeah, I see what this is. I'm building a mathematical formula and I just caught on because okay, so I've already done like 4 of these formulas. This is the work you're going to get. So the scientific method is actually, well, let me just go ahead and write it out here for you. This formula is going to be abbreviated this infinity. Okay. And we're going to be breaking that down later. This is the formula for learning. I have a learning formula. It's literally 1 times 12 or 1 to 12 to, actually, no, Anna, you changed the thing because you had to invent this little thing in order to even do that. There you go. So learning, or the scientific method, it can be condensed into the formula 1 to 12 to infinity. Okay. And then you add that, and we're going to go ahead and this is formula 1. And then it's want plus choose plus do. See, we have learn and solve. This is learn and solve. But I know this, but most people don't. So I integrated want plus choose plus learn plus solve plus do. So now I can take that learn solve and I can move it over there to the learning, the scientific method. And then it's want, choose, do. And then the other part that I've been working on, which I had no idea I was working on, was power economics. So power economics, and that's what we're going to cover here. The last is the power economics. And that's going to be, and it's, again, let's make sure we clarify here that it's your purpose plus your destination. So that's the mathematical formula for that. So these are 3 different components. Equals strategic life planning and propagation. Which leads to success and happiness and prosperity. Now, another way that I love to write, see, like I said, do you see how fucking long this formula is? So this is a great example of what I said in one of my past videos. This is logic. I said I didn't study math. So I don't have shorthand for all this shit. So when you don't have shorthand for all this shit, you've got long sentences. And math actually would have abbreviations to break all that down, which I don't, because I haven't gotten to the math yet. This is just in the logic. So this is one component. I'm going to show you now. This is math. So this is the full formula, right? This is how math works. Logic. This is what math. This is what logic. I told you I have pages and pages of these things. This is an example of it. So this is what this means. And that 1 times 12 times infinity. That's literally, it's 4 graphs. It is literally 4 pages. You're going to see it when I do when I show you my abstract, and you're going to be like, oh my fucking God. Yeah, this is why you have mathematics. So this is the part of logic that they removed from math. You're probably going, what the fuck? I know, right? So, okay, so there's 4 components. Okay, so here you go. So this is how I want to break it down here. So the first one is right here. This is going to be called component 1. Okay. And this is actually component 2. And this is component 3. And this is something that does not exist at all in mathematics anywhere. This is something I had to invent. The integrated greater whole, or the integrated whole. Now, there it is. So you see how this is. So you have 3 components. Now, this is where I want to show you the difference between math and this stuff, because this is something different. You're familiar with addition. You're familiar with subtraction. You're familiar with multiplication, and you're familiar with division. Well, this is something different. This is a math concept that does not exist. I had to invent it for this shit. It is not plus. Plus means sum or summation. Now, it does not mean integration. It means sum. And then there is integration. So this is called, I'm going to call it, we're going to name it right now, integration mathematics, integrated mathematics, because there's really no other, it doesn't exist. I had to invent this shit. So this is integration math, okay? You know what? We're going to do this, integration math, okay? So this is sum or summation, okay? And then we have integration math. So we're going to go over this, all right? I want you to pretend that each one of these little circles represents a peach, okay? So you have 3 peaches, okay? Now you've got 3 components. So when I say to you, how many components or how many peaches do you have? You are going to say 3 peaches. Well, are the peaches a summation or integration? They are a summation. They are side by side. Each peach equals its own self. That is part. That is really, really, really important, okay? And we would write it in math as A equals peach, okay? So we have 3 peaches. So this is going to be marked as A plus A plus A equals 3A. Okay, another way we would write this in mathematics is 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. We know this, right? Well, we're going to do this a little differently, okay? I want you to think about James and the giant peach. Now, I'm going to ask the question, how the fuck did James get his giant peach? So this is James's peach. And I'm still going, what the fuck is going on with James's peach, right? Now, this is the difference between summation and integration. Let's pretend that James's peach is a collection of multiple peaches that were not summed up, but were integrated. So this is what this is going to look like, okay? So you've got 3 peaches, and when you integrate these 3 peaches, they become James's giant peach. That's going to be written 1 integrate leads to 1, well, 1, this sign that I invented. And that there. That is how I write it. That is exactly how I write it. And I'm going to break this down for you. I literally had to invent new math for this shit because the formula that involves is complex. So basically, when you are talking about components and integrations, they are not 3 individual independent. And this is the key word. This is the key word. These are independent. Okay? It means that these peaches, no matter what, remain independent of each other. Now, in integration, they can be both dependent and independent. We see this in English with clauses. A sentence or a clause can be dependent or independent. If it is a dependent clause, it is an integrated clause. It means that 2 sentences have integrated to become 1 sentence. So in English class, Jack has a ball. Jack has a bat. Jack has a ball and a bat. This is an example of integrated math. Jack has a ball is 1 clause. It is an independent clause. Jack has a bat is also 1 clause. Now, Jack has a ball and a bat is equal to 2 clauses or 1 sentence. How is your grammar skills? That's the difference. Because you have integrated 2 clauses to make 1 sentence. Now, if I were to write this out mathematically, it would actually look like this. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. No, that is mathematics. This is integration mathematics. This is something different. It is 1 + 1 = 1. But it's not an equal. It's integrated to become a greater whole. That's what the double dash means. Integrated to become a greater whole, or a sum of all of its parts. So 1 + 1 is 1. Now, in this case, it would be 1 + 1 + 1 is this, or it would be 3 integrated into 1. That's what this means, is we have combined 3 to become 1. That's what it means. Now, another great way to look at this is this 1 is always dependent upon its components. And it's really the dependence that we have to look at here. It's really, really, really the dependence that we have to look at here, because an integration is always dependent upon its components. That is a law of integrated math. An integrated whole is always dependent upon its components. That is absolutely the first law of integrated mathematics. For the record, I just invented that shit, which means you are watching this in creation as I make it up. I mean, I've known it, but I've never said it out loud. I've never defined it. This is the difference. So this is really, yeah, it's one of those things that's been in my head, and I'm like, I should probably write this down. So it's the first law of integrated mathematics, is an integrated whole is always dependent upon its components. Always, always, always. We are talking about dependent and independent. Now, in James and the Giant Peach, okay, I really don't know where James's peach came from. Lizzie, do you know where James's giant peach came from? It's really bothering me. Why was James's giant peach so big? Was it magic or was it an integrated peach of all these other little peaches? Never mind. It's driving me crazy. I'm like, how did it get so big? It's an example. So this is now going back over to here. You have your three components, and these three components integrate to become a greater whole. So learning the scientific method has to combine with want, choose, do, which has to combine with power economics. Now, this is the difference between the educated, I'm going to call it an integrated thinker. Integrated thinking. You know what? That is exactly what this is. Oh my God, I have needed that sentence for so long. Educated, integrated thinkers understand something. Always integrate. Uneducated or educated, I'm going to say non-integrated thinkers, because it's irrelevant if they're educated or not. If they're not integrated thinkers, they're going to have this problem. Never integrate. This is the problem. Okay, not never. Well, I guess you can't. My logic, I got to play with this. So we're going to play with logic. Just give me a minute. Never and or rarely. Well, no, by default, if it's never, then it's only going to be an or. I love logic. So never or rarely integrate. Non-integrate, extra credit if you can tell me why that was illogical. Never or rarely integrate, bottom line. And this is really where I'm going to really drive this home. When you are learning all of this, it's going to be the difference with integration. If you're not integrating, it's just regular education. You've got to integrate it to make it something bigger. You've got to integrate it. Now, integration requires something. You cannot. Oh, this was going to be the second law of integration. Second law of integration. The second law of integration is a union divided against itself cannot stand. You cannot be prejudiced or biased. It's not going to work. A union divided against itself cannot stand. You are an integrated whole. Mental illness occurs when an integrated whole is divided against itself. We are physics. In Triadic Healing Part 1, we are going to be covering your integrated components and how to integrate them back into who you are. I used to have multiple personality disorder. It was upon the integration of my divided self that I had this epiphany of integrated mathematics, and I went, it isn't just me. We live in a world that is designed because of bad teaching, because of bad government, because of bad parenting, that our culture literally cultivates disintegration of the self. This is what you are going to be learning about, and this is what we are going to be undoing and reversing and correcting in triadic healing. This is all we do here, is we integrate the whole, and then we restore and we rebuild what you have. We take you back to your stage one, where you rebuild your boat, and then we plot your destination, we set sail, and then we install that motor in 4 stages. But to begin, we must first integrate your whole, which we are already doing when you are learning how to learn. When you learn how to learn, you immediately stop the process and you reverse it. When you learn how to learn, you are growing. So when I say to you, learning and education equals mental health, I mean it. Learning and education are the same thing as mental health. Mental health is built off of logical health plus story health plus power economics, because we are physics. So all you have to do when you are looking to heal is learn. But what did I say? You have to have the right information, and you have to follow the correct mathematical sequencing, which is the order of operations. What you need is the healing formula. That's it. The right information following the correct mathematical sequencing. Once that happens, you go from this to this to this to this. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.